have your ID on you?
It's in my car. Yeah.
Do you have Tennessee ID?
Yeah.
Alright, they're just wanting you trespassed from the property.
Why is that?
They can have anybody trespass from the property for any reason.
From the public sidewalk?
Well, you're currently on their property.
I'm trying to get my chalk. I'm trying to retrieve it. Because they haven't asked me to leave, and actually the lady told me to stand right here and wait for them to come down. How am I going to get trespassed?
That's not what they told us. They said they asked you to leave multiple times.
Oh, they've never asked me to leave. I have it all on film, actually. I literally have it on film. I just recorded my entire interaction with the lady who told me to wait right here. So I am outside of WJHL in Johnson City, and I have just finished doing some chalking down here. And the reason I was out here doing this chalking is because WJHL just reported on the shutdown, and they interviewed Diana Harshbarger, our congressional representative. And in that interview, Diana said she hasn't had any complaints, that if you didn't watch the TV, you wouldn't even know that the government was shut down. And we all know in this district that is not true. We know that Diana is lying when she says nobody has complained, because these streets were filled with nearly 2,000 people last weekend for the No Kings rally, and people are calling every day, people are chalking outside every day. And so we have been trying to hold WJHL accountable by calling them and emailing them and letting them know that they need to report on both sides of the story. That when you just report whatever Diana says and you don't actually ask the constituents, you end up just being a propaganda machine instead of actual journalists. And so I came out here to make my voice heard, to exercise my First Amendment, and I'm pretty sure that they called the cops on me. I'm not going to state that as a fact, but the cops did come up while I was chalking. They said somebody told them I was spray painting the sidewalk. When they realized it was chalk, no big deal. Hello. How's it going?
Actually starting to warm up for once.
Right?
It's gonna warm up at all.
I know. It's actually been nice, though. In the sun, it feels really good. Watch out. I'm not spray painting, it's just chalk. No.
Yeah.
People usually call, they're like, what is she doing? This is River.
Hello, River.
Yeah.
You're pretty. Look at my dog. I got called to that and I was like, that's chalk.
Yeah, it is, yeah. But I do find it peculiar that as soon as the cops arrived, there was somebody there to meet them at the door and talk with them. And instead of coming up to me and talking to me about what I'm doing here, like, I don't know, a curious journalist I would expect to do, they just closed the doors and went back inside. So when I left, I realized that I had left a bag of chalk on the steps, and I don't want to leave things around. I try to clean up after myself. I even try to make sure I pick up all my chalk pieces. And as I was pulling up to park across the street, there was a woman grabbing my bag of chalk and bringing it inside the building. And I waved her down. I rolled down my window. I said, hey, that's mine. And she goes, I'm sorry, and ran back inside the building with my chalk. So I just knocked on the door and I just spoke with the lady that was inside. Hi, I had left a bag of chalk out here and somebody just came and grabbed it and took it.
Yeah,
could I? Oh, okay. Could I get my chalk back, or is she just gonna take it?
She said, if need be, you can come take a seat in here and she'll come down and talk to you.
Oh, well, I have my dog. Why would she take my chalk and not give it back to me? It seems kind of weird, right?
She said it's on her steps.
It's on her steps, right? But I mean, it's the news. I would think that if I just left a bag of chalk on the steps here, that perhaps she would give me back my property. I came back to get it. I didn't just leave it. It was an accident. Is she interested at all in giving me back my property that I paid for?
I can call her.
That would be great. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Oh my God.
She said she just walked into a meeting. She'll be glad to talk to you when she gets done.
I would just like my chalk back. Doesn't she have my chalk? I say I don't think I need to be talked to get my property back. Is that your typical protocol, that if somebody accidentally leaves their property, like their purse or something like that on the steps, that you just take it and then don't give it back, and then the person has to come inside the building and sit down for a meeting in order to get their property back?
I have no authority.
Do you have a lost and found in here?
She gave it to me.
What is her name?
Paula Jackson.
What is it?
Paula Jackson.
Paula Jackson. Okay, and she recognizes that that is my property, and that as I pulled up, I told her it was my property, and instead of letting me come get it, she ran inside with it. When is she going to be out of her meeting?
She said in a few minutes.
Okay. Yeah, I'll wait a few minutes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'll tell her to come out.
That would be great. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Hello. Good. Are you here to retrieve my stolen chalk? Because they stole my chalk.
They take your chalk.
They did. I left it on the steps on accident, but I pulled around 2 minutes later to get it. And as I was pulling up, I literally yelled out the window, "Hey, that's mine!" And she goes, "Sorry," and runs inside with it. So I understand that if you leave property, it's kind of in the public, but just wondering if there's any chance I could get that back from them.
I can ask. Do you have your ID on you?
It's in my car. Yeah.
Do you have a Tennessee ID?
Yeah.
Alright, they're just wanting you trespassed from the property.
Why is that?
They can have anybody trespass from the property for any reason.
From the public sidewalk?
Well, you're currently on their property.
I'm trying to get my chalk. I'm trying to retrieve it. Because they haven't asked me to leave, and actually the lady told me to stand right here and wait for them to come down. How am I going to get trespassed?
That's not what they told us. They said they asked you to leave multiple times.
Oh, they've never asked me to leave. I have it all on film, actually. I literally have it on film. I just recorded my entire interaction with the lady who told me to wait right here.
No, well, you're not being charged with trespass. You're just being formally trespassed from the property.
Can you ask them to give me my property?
Yeah, I'll have
That's
to go
my
inside
property.
and talk to them for a minute.
Wow, that's...
You have a Tennessee ID, you said?
Yes.
What's your social?
So their property starts at the steps, is that what it is?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Seems like they would have to ask me to leave, not ask me to stay in order to trespass me, but I guess I don't know the law on that.
All right. Go sit tight for just a second.
Sure. Am I going to get in trouble for standing here, or do I need to get off the property?
You just want to stand on the sidewalk?
Sure,
I'll
will
be right back with
do.
you in just a minute.
Great, thanks so much. Let them know they should probably be more clear about their intentions before they call the cops, please. They stole my property, invited me to stay, then invited me inside, to which I declined because I have my dog. He's right there in the car. They invited me inside. That was the last thing I heard from them, is they invited me to stay. And then they called the cops and decided to have me trespassed. Is that weird to you? Isn't that that just seems weird. All because they want to be a propaganda machine for Diana Harshbarger. We'll see how well that works out for them. So no chalk, huh?
So the chalk has already been disposed of.
Huh.
I can't do anything about that because that's property. We don't dispute any property, okay?
Okay.
But as of this point, you are formally trespassed from their property. You can be on the sidewalk. Sidewalk's
Okay.
public property. You're more than welcome to be on the sidewalk. But you can't obstruct the sidewalk, all right?
Yeah, that's totally fine. Totally understand. Did they acknowledge that they literally asked me to come inside before they called you to trespass me, and I just declined to come inside?
They said they asked you to leave.
No, sir. Can I show you the? Because are they really allowed to just lie to the local police and put me in this position?
Here's the deal. I'm not going to sit here and say they said this, you said this.
Well, you could see it on. I could literally show you the video.
Okay.
She invited me inside.
Here's the deal. You can have anybody trespass from your property that is on your property for any reason whatsoever.
Totally get it.
So that's all that's happened here, okay?
All right.
I tried to ask for your chalk back. They said it's already been disposed of. That's as far as I can go on.
Well,
all right.
But thank
Can I
you.
do anything else for you today?
No, you can't. I thank you. Thank you for being kind. Thank you for what you do, and I appreciate you. I'm just here to affirm my rights. That's it.
Okay.
That's it.
Are you
I'm not
gonna be
here.
walking back?
I have had so many encounters with the police, the local police. I have had so many unfortunate encounters with sheriffs and with my congresswoman, and I have talked to police officers more in the last few months than I ever have in my entire life. I have never been in any kind of legal trouble. I am not a criminal. I have never even received a speeding ticket, okay? And so I think a lot of people assume that I'm just going around trying to cause trouble. I wonder and I worry that that is going to be something that people assume, that all of this constant posting, calling out all of these people is somehow my fault. And I think that's natural for me because I just tend to be a people pleaser, or I have in the past, and I really don't like controversy. I don't like to cause issues for people. But there was a point when I realized 10 months ago that I needed to actually do something. I had to do more than complain on the internet about what's going on around me in the government. It's not enough to just complain. It's not even enough to just vote. You have to be engaged. In order for democracy to work, in order for us to have the kind of system that we want to have in America, we all have to participate. And participation is way more than just talking about the problems. It's way more than just showing up to vote. You have to be willing to call out corruption, to stand up against the corruption. And I have learned from listening to people who have been active for years, for far longer than I have, that the way we win our country back, the way we preserve our rights and our freedoms and protect our future is by disrupting the system that is being cruel to us, the system that is actually causing these problems and is taking away our freedoms, taking away our rights little by little. And these days, not even so little by little, but a lot by a lot. And disrupting the pillars that uphold the power. And there are so many pillars across society, different ways the power is upheld. And one of those pillars is the media. The media is complicit in what we're experiencing right now in the United States. They are complicit in installing a wannabe king into the presidency. And that is across the board, nationally and locally. But it is very apparent to me that it is very concentrated locally. Because our local news around here, they're not doing fair and balanced reporting. They're not doing journalism. They're doing state-run media. And that became very obvious when they posted a report on the government shutdown. They interviewed Diana Harshbarger, and she told them that nobody has complained, that she hasn't had a single constituent in her district complain about what's going on, which we all know isn't true because we saw 1,800 people in Johnson City. We saw like 600-700 people in Kingsport. We saw thousands of people in the Tri-Cities area last week protesting in the streets. And every day those people are calling. Every day those people are emailing. So we know that what they reported wasn't true. And instead of getting the other side, instead of reporting on what constituents are saying, they just put the report out there that this is what Diana says, that nobody would even know that the government was shut down if they didn't turn on the TV. So that's our congresswoman encouraging people not to actually be informed, to be educated on what's going on. That should say a lot about her. But it says a lot about the news that they didn't actually ask any constituents how we feel. They didn't fact check her on the fact that she's not receiving any complaints. And so the locals have been calling and emailing them, asking them to report a follow-up, to update their report with our concerns and what we have to say, because that's kind of the most important part of all of this, is what the people are saying, not what our representative is saying. When you have access to the people, you don't really need to listen to the representative. You need to listen to the people. But they didn't do that. And so I went out there and I chalked today in front of their building. And I did so after a friend of mine in the resistance also chalked in front of their building. And when I arrived, her chalk was gone. So I put down my own chalk and I spread my messages. I said what I wanted to say. I do this because it's important. And I probably wouldn't keep chalking if I didn't realize how much it was getting under their skin. But seeing how they keep calling the police, they keep threatening all of this retaliation and the DOJ and now trespassing me, it seems as though the chalk is really upsetting the pillars that uphold the power, and the power too, Diana. The chalk is really upsetting them. And it wouldn't upset them if it wasn't working, if it wasn't getting the community involved, if it wasn't bringing awareness to the community about what's going on. Because a lot of people think that my chalking just has one goal, and it doesn't. My chalking is so that I can bring attention to the issues. They come and wash it away, it doesn't matter, because I take videos and pictures, I post it online, and then I talk about these issues. That's what matters. There are people that want to get involved and they want to chalk with me, so they join me. There are people that see me chalking and realize something's going on, and then maybe they're doing a little research themselves to see what's going on. Maybe they're starting to wake up. And it's pissing off the power and the pillars that uphold the power. And I would love nothing more than to piss off every single person that is screwing over the constituents of District 1. The people that are the cause of people about to lose their Medicaid. People that aren't going to get their SNAP payments this month because the House won't do their job and they won't negotiate and compromise. Because they want to do whatever Trump says. They want to give up their power. They want to give up the people's voice. That's the part that really upsets me the most, is that Congress is supposed to be its own branch, and Congress is a representation of the people. That is our representation and our voice. That is where our power is held. And right now, Congress is giving up that responsibility to a king, to a wannabe king. And they're not doing their job. They're not representing the people. And so we have lost our voice and we have lost our power. And yet they're still taking our tax money. We're paying their salary. They're doing just fine. They're on paid vacation on our dollars. And our dollars are getting us nothing. And people they're about to lose everything. Our groceries are unaffordable. Our housing is unaffordable. Healthcare is unaffordable and about to be inaccessible. ACA subsidies are about to just expire, and those premiums are going to skyrocket. People are going to be paying triple, quadruple what they were paying for their insurance. And they're going to have to choose between their insurance and their food. Both things are unaffordable right now. So what are we getting out of our tax dollars? Paid vacations for Congress? For them to not represent us and not acknowledge us and pretend like we don't exist? And then the local news supports that and upholds that? No, we can't let that happen. So we show up and we hold them accountable, and we don't back down. We persist. You don't just show up once. You keep showing up over and over and over again. And if the most you do is piss them off, great. Because I'm not going to just sit back and let someone steal from me and not do anything about it. So I'm hoping that by continuing to speak up, by continuing to persist, that I can encourage you to do the exact same thing, to speak up and persist and never back down, and to do everything you can to raise hell for those that are actively harming us and taking from us and destroying our America like Trump is destroying the White House right now. And very symbolic what he's doing to the people's house. And we don't have to stand for this. There are millions of us. We could just rise up. We need more than protest. We need daily disruption to the system. We need calls to the local news. We need accountability. Calls to the congresswoman. Accountability. And if we have to march up to their offices every single day with our chalk and our signs and peacefully demand accountability, that's what we will do. And we don't back down. Because when you back down, they win. And then you lose everything. So that's all I got for you. We got to rise up. Just keep rising up. Keep speaking out. Keep resisting and persisting. Do not let them scare you. Don't back down. Stay within the law and be creative. Creativity has been my greatest strength in the resistance. And I have done nothing criminal. I have not harmed anyone. I have not done anything outside of utilizing my First Amendment rights. And look how much it has bothered them and scared them. I hope that serves as an example to you, that if you persist and you disrupt and you piss them off, that you'll get your power back too, and you'll encourage others to do the same. And then before you know it, we are all rising and disrupting every single day so that they cannot get done what they want to get done. And what they want to get done is to steal from the American people, to enrich themselves, to hold all of the power, all of the money, and for us to starve, to suffer, to be sick, and not be able to rise up and take our power back, take our country back, and have the freedoms that we deserve as human beings.